Good evening. Thanks for watching the replay, because no one's live yet. It's a bit early for that. But we'll say hello to people as they flow in here, and then we'll talk about this cool thing. Why I now live on passive residual income, have for some time, and I'll explain how you can too. And I'll answer any questions you've got. I'll explain all the ins and outs, and I won't hold anything back. You'll get to know the reality of how this works, and you know whether you can do it. Not everyone can do it, but a lot of people can, and so we'll discuss that. I have all the time in the world. This might be a 10-minute stream, or it might be a 2-hour-long stream. Who knows? But we'll see. I know, I don't use deceptive marketing tactics, so I titled the video appropriately, so that usually stops a lot of people from watching, and that's okay because they're obviously not ready to learn about passive residual income. They don't understand yet perhaps why passive residual income is so important, and if you're not earning passive residual income, then you're wasting a lot of your life trading time for dollars. So welcome. It's not giving me any single names, but I see there's a bunch of people already watching. So for the sake of those that are watching this in the replay, let's just really kind of get into something. So I'll give you some history on me. I started my first business when I was 19 years old, and a business card company like Vistaprint. And we did digital. Back then, we were operating on the very first Zycon digital press that came into Australia. And I was doing color digital on-demand printing, which is basically how Vistaprint built their business now. And that failed miserably. So that was my first and only business failure. I'm a quick learner. So I learned from that mistake. Didn't go real well. Anderson's BC, Anderson's business cards, didn't really work very well. And I moved at the same time as I was doing that, moved into web design, built a web design company in New Zealand, in Australia first of all, and later I moved back to New Zealand, which was my birth country, and continued it there. I was one of the world's very first web designers, and made a lot of money creating some of the very first e-commerce sites in the world, enabling people to sell online, which back then was a big deal. And then I was an Apple journalist, and I've traveled the world, lived in different places around the world, and have always found a way to create income no matter where I am, so that I can be fully mobile. Except the first couple of things I did. But like web design, you can do from anywhere. People just find people on Fiverr these days to build a website for them. And being a tech journalist, covering Apple predominantly, I traveled the world, went to Apple expos and shows all over the world. And then I went back to New Zealand and built a large web design firm there. And then I came over to, then I also created a software company, which was very big, very successful. We're the first people to create some mobile technology that enabled Mac users to sync their address books, contacts, calendar events, to-do items with their cell phones, long before smartphones were around. And so that was fun. And you could sync over Bluetooth even. Bluetooth was brand new back then. And then I came to the United States and continued that company for a while until our product just became obsoleted because of the market, because we all progressed, and then smartphones came out and things like that. I created a data recovery company in Boulder, Colorado, which became the highest rated IT business in the whole city, and still is, I think, even though it's been closed down now for 2 years. And it was about 4 years and 3 months ago where Doug Weed, who was the senior campaign advisor to the Ron Paul presidential campaign, he introduced me to this idea of building a network marketing company, and I was just like, Get away from me. No, thank you. And I said no for the longest time. But it was interesting. The business aspects of what he was showing me was very sound. I liked it a lot. I knew I wouldn't like the products because I was a health nut. And well, I had a little bit to learn. So let me tell you just very quick about Doug Weed. Now, I worked with Doug Weed a lot during the 2011-12 presidential campaign, and with Ronnie Paul a little bit, which is Ron Paul's oldest son. And it turns out that Doug Weed has a very, very interesting history, not just in politics, but if you search for him on YouTube and maybe view it by upload date and look at the older videos, we hear Ronald Reagan talking about Doug Weed. Ronald Reagan really edifying and praising the work that Doug Weed had done for raising, I think now, over $1 billion in private charity, private aid for stuff that's going on around the world. Doug Weed is the person that coined the term compassionate conservative. He's done a lot. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Well, it turns out that Doug Weed, and I didn't know this until he started telling me after the presidential election, that he was actually the one of the primary, if not the primary, country opener for the Amway Corporation. And I'm not endorsing Amway, and I don't think he would either. But he was there for 43 years. And so, Doug Weed has written more than 40 books on network marketing. He's written tons of other books as well. He's known these days as a presidential historian. He just published a book. I'm not sure if it's released yet, but I think it's released any day now, called Game of Thorns, which is a play on Game of Thrones, and is all about how Hillary Clinton lost the election. Although he did not call it. I actually have an interview with him that we've never released, but I have it right here. Where in this interview he says, "No way Donald Trump is going to win." I say, "Oh, yes, he is." So one day we might release that interview. It's kind of funny. But it was that same day that we did that interview. It was about 7 months ago that I was sitting in his living room, and hang on, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. So he introduces me to this business idea, and I look at it, and I'm not interested in the products, and then, because he's kind of famous in network marketing circles, he has some pull, he has some power. So he actually had one of the co-founders and basically the public face of this company that I'm involved in. Her name is Kathy Coover. And those of you that are in the company are like, wait, what? Yeah. So Kathy Coover actually brought me into her own company. Actually, I just texted Kathy a few minutes ago. She's such a wonderful woman. Just sometimes you meet people and you're just like, if I ever get to that level of integrity in my life, that would be a very good thing. I mean, she's just, I guess she's technically now, with the market cap of the company, multi-billionaire, and the most real, humble, down-to-earth person. I mean, just mind-blowing. Anyway, so she calls me and say, "Israel, have you looked into the products at all?" I'm like, "No, I'm a real health nut. I'm just not interested in soy protein based products." And she's like, "Well, we don't use soy protein in anything." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So like everybody else, when you first talk to them about network marketing, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know all about it. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, thank you. No, it's okay. I'm not interested. It's fine. Good. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, thank you." and here I am 4 years and 3 months later, rapidly ramping up my network marketing business, and it's just going absolutely amazing. And so we'll get to that in a second. So anyway, she calls me 3 times, and finally I say yes. She gets me enrolled, and she creates an account for me, and I start trying these products. And those of you that knew me in the Ron Paul days, I was really overweight, and I'm not now because this stuff works. It's really good. And so I had a bunch of people join me right in the beginning because I had a lot of followers, and so I think I got 32 people started in my first 4 weeks, which is huge. Actually, if I had gotten all of them started in the same calendar month, I actually would have won the award for the top enroller in the company for that month in November of 2012. So that was cool. But anyway, I didn't. It doesn't matter. And so I had a lot of my misconceptions about network marketing busted. But there is a caveat to that, and that is this is a very unique company. And there's not a lot of companies out. It's not an MLM. It's not an MLM compensation model. It's very unique. It's invented from scratch. Everything has been rethought. And that's why a lot of people call it the reinvention of network marketing. So if you've ever been in network marketing before and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing it again. Well, this is not it again. This is something different. This is a recreation. It's a reinvention of the entire model. And we do everything differently. The only thing we do that's the same is that, yeah, you got to go out and talk to people, right? You got to learn how to be a connector, someone that knows how to go up and have conversations with people and care about them and learn about them. And it's not about selling. It's not about selling at all. It's about building trust in your own self. So this week, 4 people have gotten started with me. I didn't have to sell any of those people, none of them. And they're all on my Facebook. They could all be watching this. I'm telling the truth. I didn't have to sell them on what I do. They came to me, right? So, in fact, every one of them came to me. And there's another one I'm going to get started here in a couple of hours. That'll be my 5th one for the week. And I didn't have to approach her either, right? So that'll happen once you've been doing it for a little while. People start coming to you. Makes it very easy, or easier, that's for sure. So, but now let me just jump a little bit back to Doug Weed, because this is important and this will impress you. This will impress you a lot. So don't tune out. Doug Weed, with his 51 years of experience in network marketing, got together with 3 of his friends that were also professional business builders in network marketing. They hired an attorney. They hired a private investigator. And they spent just over 6 months on this journey to find the perfect network marketing company that they and their families would finally call, they're older people now. This is going to be home. This is going to be the last one. Because he was actually involved in another company called Zango for 8 years, and he thought that's way too short. 8 years is nothing. It's okay. Well, most people don't last 8 days. I mean, they've given up before then, maybe 8 weeks. But came down to 2 companies, and they actually went out and they visited a dozen. They got a short list of a dozen companies. They went out there. They met with the people that are in the company, the founders. They met with the executive teams. They had their private investigator finding people that had been in the company that had left, and they went and met with these people and found out why. Why did you leave? Was there a problem? They had the attorney looking up all of the lawsuits and see who are they suing and who is suing them. Any big company has got lawsuits. I'm sure Isogenics probably does too. And it came down to two companies. One company, which is now completely gone, they have gone. They offered Doug Weed a $1.2 million signing bonus. Now, this is typical in big business, right? If Tim Cook was going to be hired away from Apple to IBM or anywhere, I mean, they're going to give him an absolutely freaking enormous, way bigger than 1.2 million, probably in the 10 or 20 million dollar amount as a signing bonus, right? And they usually give it to you as stock options. So this company offered Doug Weed a $1.2 million signing bonus to join their company, and Doug then went to Kathy Coover, who is the, as I said, the co-founder of the company, Isagenix, and said, well, this other company is offering us a $1.2 million signing bonus. Would you match or beat that signing bonus? Will you do better than $1.2 million? And I wasn't there, but he tells me that she did not hesitate. She said, Doug Weed, we do not need to pay people to join our company. We won't give you any signing bonus at all. We commit to looking after you and your people, but we're not paying people to join our company. Well, that's very interesting. Up until I explained it at the video at the beginning, Stephanie. Stephanie is in Isagenix. She's not in my team. She asked, I still don't get how Kathy got involved in your journey to Isagenix. Well, I explained it at the beginning, so you can catch the beginning there. And so that made up the decision for Doug. He just said, well, that's it. Somebody that has that level of surety in their company, they feel they don't need to buy people's way in to bump up their numbers with all these professionals. And it's why that a lot of these big MLM names in the industry are not in Isagenix. They're not there. They're not there. They're in other places. And it's for two reasons. We won't give them a signing bonus. And our compensation model is designed in such a way that these people just want to bring a big team in with them and not do any work and just sit back and have millions of dollars flowing to them. Our compensation model doesn't work like that. It's not a pyramid scheme. You've got to do work. You've got to build it, right? So anyway, that was a big deal to me, right? That he did all this due diligence. He went through every single company. He didn't have a dog in the fight. He was just on a mission with his friends to find the best network marketing company that exists. And he found it. And today, this company, which produces health food products, is just going from strength to strength. This year will be our first $1 billion year. We came this close in 2016. In 2016, we did $892 million. It's like, come on, just a little bit more. But this year it'll be easy. We'll easily surpass $1 billion. And because of the in-writing guarantees of the company and the payouts that we get, the company is a profit-sharing cooperative. Sorry, I misspoke, and actually I get people correcting me all the time and saying, don't you mean a profit-sharing cooperative, Israel? I actually meant this is a revenue-sharing cooperative. The company, Isagenix, is a revenue-sharing cooperative. And what does that mean? Well, it means they get a percentage of the revenue, not the profits. And they share that percentage with the marketing field. So the company has to take, you'd expect the vast majority, like 80% of all the incoming revenue. We're not talking about profits, we're talking about revenue. So let's say the company takes in 80% of the revenue, and that provides all the infrastructure. I mean, everything, all the customer service that's available to us, the physical buildings, all the employees that actually work for the company, and, distribution and research and development. We have 49 research scientists on staff. We have a scientific research facility in Phoenix, Arizona. We have a scientific research institute. It's phenomenal. We contribute to scientific discovery. In fact, Men's Health magazine just quoted one of our most recent studies. They didn't mention it wasn't an Isagenix thing. It wasn't a promotion for us, but they cited our latest clinical study that was done by Skidmore University. And that was very exciting. We've been cited many times, including in Popular Science magazine, for our research into anti-aging. So we're not like We're not an Amway or an Herbalife or an Advocare or, name any other company out there. And I don't, if you're in those companies, hey, do your due diligence. If you think they're good for you and you can build a business there, hey, go for it. But we're just a little bit different. We're a science-based company, and I think we have more scientists on staff than probably our next 20 competitors combined. We're rigorous in our scientific approach, which, as you know, being a scientist, this just lights me up. I mean, I get very excited about that kind of a thing. So I bit the bullet and I got in. And it's now 4 years and 3 months later. And for the last 2 years, I've lived solely on passive residual income. Right? And it frees your life up. So as a serial entrepreneur, I've always had great income. I've always had a lot more time freedom than what most people have, except when you're starting up and then it's like 80-hour weeks for a year or so. But, running a data recovery company and get very efficient at it. I was very, very good at it. I just got that kind of mind for microelectronics. And did well, but then I was introduced to this, and there were some times where I wanted to get to some of these events that the company was actually holding. And it was a real struggle to go. Actually, here's the best example. In the 2011-12 campaign for Ron Paul, which I was very much a part of, and most of you know me from the Ron Paul Flicks days, I closed my business down for 9 weeks so that I could focus exclusively on the campaign. My business never recovered. Never recovered. Everybody down at the Apple store, where I got a lot of referrals from, I thought I had closed shop. The word spread around that Israel's closed down, and it hurt. It hurt. I never recovered. I still remember how much money I won't mention figures, but how much money I did in the month before I closed my doors for a little while. It was what actually gave me confidence that I could do it. I think there's only 2 or 3 months after that time where I ever got back up to 50% of that level. It was very disappointing. It was a foolish mistake on my part, but I was very passionate about helping this incredible man, Ron Paul, try to win the presidency of the United States. So that's life, right? Move on, learn, move on. So now, I guess it's in this amazing synchronicity. I now work with Ronnie Paul, and I'll tag him here in a second. So, just so you know, I'm not BSing. In fact, I'll just do it right now. I can't until the stream is over. I'll tag him in the video after, but I work with Ronnie Paul. We're in this business together, right? Ronnie Paul is Ron Paul's older son, Rand Paul's older brother. And so it's amazing. I mentioned Ron Paul and I lost everybody. I'm sure it's just a glitch, and it's kind of funny. And don't most of my friends like Ron Paul? I think you do. Actually, just let me just like this. And I should actually share this over to my page. Can I share it to my page? Yeah. And Tiaki's scratching the door. She's just going to have to wait. Okay. So now, Ronnie Paul and I have got a video up on my page you can go and watch, where we sat down at his place and talked about it. And, it's been a phenomenal journey in learning new skills, and learning that anybody can do this if they apply themselves, and in creating bona fide passive residual income. Because I'm telling you, let me talk about the passive residual income bit for a second, because this is really important. It's almost impossible to find any network marketing company out there that lives up to the promise that they will pay you real passive residual income. Now, they all say that. They all say they will. They all say they will. But The same time I did this interview with Doug Weed in his home in Virginia about 7 months ago, he asked me, are you still, because he knew at that point, as some of you know, I backed off this whole thing for 2 years. I didn't do anything with it. I kind of lost interest. It was nothing to do with the company or the people or anything like that. I was going through some real personal issues. I went through this period of existential depression some of you know about. I had a major personal defeat at the beginning of 2015 and halfway through 2015 that for me was just a big slam. And I just wasn't in the frame of mind where I could do a live stream like this and talk to you guys. I just couldn't do it. And so in that whole 2-year period, I think I got 8 people started, and every single one of those 8 people came to me and said, you know, hey, I wanted to join with you. What do I do? So, but in that 2-year period, I got paid every single Monday morning without fail. And I looked back in my payments just to make sure I was telling the truth. The lowest amount, 2 years of not doing anything. And the lowest amount I was ever paid on a Monday morning was $216. If you left your job right now for 2 years, would they still be paying you $216 minimum per week? No, not even 1 week later, right? You're gone. That's it. It's over. That's why you got to build passive residual income. But you got to choose this company because they're the only ones that live up to the promise. So he asked me, knowing that I hadn't done anything for almost 2 years, and said, are you still getting paid? And I said, yes, of course. Like, why? It's passive residual income. Like, that's why I built it. That's why you told me to do this. And he just went, and I'm like, what? Like, what's the big deal here, right? Remember, Doug Weed, he's this multi-level marketing guru, right? Written more than 40 books on network marketing. He knows this industry inside out, back to front. And I said, aren't you still making money from this? Because he's my upline, right? He's the one that got me in. And he said, yeah, that's the thing. And I said, look, I don't understand. He starts explaining to me, he says, Israel, this whole idea of creating an income, a passive residual income that's going to flow to you every month, or in our case, we pay weekly. I think we're the only company that pays every week, every Monday. He says, it's a load of bull. As soon as you back off, it just dries up like that. It's gone, right? You've got to keep building. The moment you stop, your income just goes away. That doesn't happen, or at least it sure hasn't happened to me, and I am by no means some professional at this, right? I mean, okay, I can turn a camera on and talk like this, but selling, talking, I mean, it's not my thing, right? I was a geek. I built software companies. I built web design companies. I built a data recovery company, right? My whole life has been in IT. Now, I did acting when I was young. In fact, somebody didn't believe me the other day. I've actually acted alongside Isla Fisher. In fact, her and I were actually very good friends back when we were teenagers, young teens. I would have been 19. And I was acting alongside Isla Fisher on the Australian soap Home and Away. And you could probably look up the show credits back then and see my name. That's true. So, but acting is a different kind of a thing. So a guy that has been in IT his whole life joins a health and wellness company and in network marketing and become successful. How does that work? Well, Google mechanic to millionaire and look at Dave's story. He's with Isogenics. I believe he's one of our 7-figure income earners. He earns over $1 million a year. And he and his wife, they take in kids, and there's a lot of people in Isogenics that are huge adopters. And we're a family company. You won't find all the flash and the hyperbole and the cars and boats and rings and watches and bling and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I got a decent watch. It's not like a Rolex or something, it's a Citizen. It's a nice watch, but I think it's the cheapest watch I could find with a nice sapphire screen. It's about $400. So, I mean, it's just like, it's not like these people walking around $15,000 timepieces. And we don't do that. This is not of interest to us, right? You don't see people showing off their latest, SLK Mercedes, or it's a family company where we're far more concerned about being grateful for what we have, gratitude, and contributing to society in any way we possibly can. And one of those ways is through creating wealth, so that we can give back. So gratitude and contribution are the two words that you'll hear over and over and over and over again from everybody, from the people that are just, a part like me in the network marketing field, to the executives, to Jim and Kathy Coover and Eric Coover themselves. It's a very honest company. It's all based on integrity and honor. The motto of the company is, if it's not right for the customers, it's not right for the company. We have better customer service than Amazon does. We stand behind everything. I mean, it's very different, right? So you want to create passive residual income in your life because you want to be totally free of the 9-to-5 grind. And it will take years to do that. I mean, I did it in 2, but for most people, it will take them, let's say 4 to 5 years is what I tell people. 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week for 5 years. I think that's your if you want to know, well, what's it going to take for me to be totally free? I can walk away from my job. 90 minutes a day. That's it. 90 minutes a day, 6 days per week for 5 years. And if you truly do spend 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, and you're truly committed to this, there's no guarantees, but I just can't see how you would not be earning $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year at that point. I know that when I hit my 5th year, I'm going to be earning a heck of a lot more than that. So, and I'm not good at this. I mean, I've seen young people get involved in this, and in 3 or 4 months. Now, it's uncommon, right? It's rare, but I've seen them do it. In 3 or 4 months, they're earning 6 figures. Now, that's weird. That's crazy. I mean, people with a great network of people that just freaking hustle, but I'm kind of a bit lazy actually. So anyway, passive residual income affords you this thing called time freedom, and it's more important than the money. Right? Let's say you're earning $40,000 a year right now. And let's say if you join me and you plug in for 4 or 5 years, you also are earning $40,000 a year. Okay. So I guess I expect that wages are going to climb over the next 5 years quite a bit too. So let's say, 45,000 by then. I don't know, whatever. We're just picking numbers here. But that's a good number, $45,000 within 5 years. I think if you commit yourself to this, that's really quite simple. It's, you do the work, you make the money. But then you can quit your job. Once you've got stability, once you've proven that you've got this steady passive residual income coming in week after week after week, every Monday morning. And it's so good being paid every Monday morning instead of, twice a week or every month, because almost all network marketing companies only pay every month. And that can then be really hard to start, thinking about how do I live on that if it's only every month, right? Whereas here we pay you every Monday morning. So once let's say you've earned $40,000 with us, right? We're not talking about like 6 figures. We're not talking like millions of dollars, just 40 grand, right? 40 grand a year. And let's say you're earning 40 grand in your job. Well, you could either stay in your job and keep it up with us, and so now you're on $80,000 a year. But I tell you what, I would take a 50% paycheck to get my life back. So if you say, okay, 40,000 here at my job, 40,000 now passive residual income, I would say, well, you can keep the job, man. I'll take the passive income because I can keep, hey, full time, I can build that and build that and build that way beyond 40 grand, right? But I can do it when I want to do it, and anywhere in the world. I mean, I can work from anywhere, literally anywhere. You don't know where I am right now. I could be next door to you. I could be, in the Bahamas right now. It just wouldn't matter. It makes no difference, right? Time freedom. See, we're always thinking about making more money, but it's not about making more money. It's about getting your life back. It's more important than money, right? Time freedom, absolute time freedom. That. Someone just, someone shared this and said Israel's on fire. Well, thank you. But time freedom is just so much more important than how much money you. I mean, think about it. If there was an option for you, if you're on $100,000 a year, but you're in an executive job, so you're working like 55, 60 hours a week, working for Apple or Google, some big company, and someone came along and said, "Hey, I'll give you a 50% pay cut, but you don't have to ever come to work again, and it's 90 minutes a day that you need to invest into this." And you can do it from anywhere in the world anytime you want. Would you take that? Because I would. Because I've learned that nothing is more important than your time. So what do you do to get there? First of all, you need to put an investment in. And the investment is your time. There's no real investment in dollar cents. You're looking about $350, right? To get a 32-day detox program that will clean your health up like nothing else. That's nothing, right? It's the time factor. Don't worry about the money. You can do that in 2 weeks. But the time, make sure you are diligent in investing the time into it. Because if you want to have time freedom, if you want to get the reward of time, it's going to require an investment of time. And I've put the time in, and I will keep putting the time in. And I got back into this like seriously about 3 months ago. And as you see, I'm doing more and more stuff like this. I'm starting to share it with more people because this is the real deal. And I'm ramping this right up. I said on my profile and on my page about 2 weeks ago, I said, I really want to get seriously into full-time journalism. How many people out there would be open to, supporting me through monthly contributions or anything like that? One person said that they would support me. One. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do that on donations. So I'm going to have to create my own income, and I'm going to have to increase the current income I'm earning through this company right now. I'm going to have like triple it, quadruple it, so that I can really start to do what I want to do. That's my choice. That's what I'm doing now. That's why I'm going to be sharing this a lot more. So you don't just have an opportunity here to join with someone that knows how to do this and a team of people that will help you. But if you actually believe in what I've been trying to do in my journalism and really cutting through the crap and being a voice of reason and an intuit and providing insight, then it'll help me with that too. All right? So it's really good. It's win-win. So this is what I am doing now. And I would encourage you to take a look at this. It's not a scam, although you'll find plenty of people that will call it one. But man, if you think that the Ron Paul family, and there's not just Ronnie Paul, there's a lot of them, if you think they're all involved in some scam, in a pyramid scheme, in some kind of a Ponzi, I think you need to rethink your thoughts, because, I don't think the Paul family are going to be involved in something like that, right? And if you just joined us, I do this with Ronnie Paul. Ronnie Paul is Ron Paul's, right? Former presidential candidate, former Texas congressman, Dr. Ron Paul. His oldest son, Rand Paul's older brother, Ronnie Paul. I'm not name dropping. We're in business together. You can go and see videos of he and I on my profile. It's public. You can scroll through my videos and see it's got a bright green background, all the grass behind us. We did it outside in his property. And you can hear us talking about it. So I'm not name dropping here. He and I, Ronnie and I, are in business together, and we love this. And he actually gets more passionate about this than I do. Go watch the video and see for yourself. And he gets really excited about Isogenics. So this is an opportunity for you to have at your disposal a bunch of health solutions that will help a lot of people. And 9 out of 10 people will just want to be your customer, and that's okay. And then 1 out of 10 people will also want to link arms with you and say, you know what? I want to do what you're doing. I want to make passive residual income. If you can live and travel the country and do whatever you want just on this income, yeah, it took you a few years to do it. I want that too. Well, you can. You come join us. And if you want to, I'll put you right underneath Ronnie Paul. Okay. So, I mean, this is fully legit. So you put the time investment in, you make money, but you make time, right? So at some point, you're going to realize I'm putting 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week into this, but now I have $40,000 a year in income coming in, and I earn, let's say, 25 in my job. So I've totally replaced my income. Now, how about, you know what? I've always wanted to go part-time at that store that I really like. Like, I want to go work for REI part-time. I'd really enjoy that. I want to go and work in such and such a department and go rock climbing because wow. So now instead of working in some crappy job you don't really like, you can go work part-time 3 days a week doing something you actually really enjoy and keep building up your income with us and get it to a higher point. Maybe get it to 60,000 a year. And then you go, well, gee, now I really got options. Now I can take 6 months off and go backpack Europe. And we're about to open in Europe in a few months. So you can talk to Europeans in England only for right now, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And a little bit later, you'll be able to talk to people all over the European continent. And, so you go backpacking and build your business. It's exciting. There's amazing tax write-offs. If you're like maybe right now in Australia, we've got a massive event going on, right? Big celebration, big training event. We have become over the last few years the largest network marketing company in both Australia and New Zealand. We're way surpassed everybody else there now. Actually, why the companies that are in Europe are very worried about us opening. We're only open in 13 countries, 14 in a couple of months. So it's going to be a big deal. There's a lot of opportunity here, right? Some people say, well, these things reach saturation point, and then sure, Amway kind of reached saturation point. It saturated the whole world. We're in 13 countries. Okay, it took them 45 years to get to that point. We're 15 years old. Okay, we have 215 millionaires, 44 just last year. We have a 50-50 revenue sharing split, which is just freaking phenomenal. I mean, catch that. If you've just joined us, right? I was explaining before, this is a revenue sharing cooperative. This is not an MLM, right? The compensation model is not multi-level marketing. This was a new model created from scratch. It uses what is called a binary. You create two teams of people. So you're not worrying about, almost all companies that are in this kind of profession, they use a multi-level marketing model and a 5x7 forced matrix. You've got to become a math guru to understand how to strategize the growth of your business and where to put people and all this kind of thing. You know how easy it is with us? Left team, right team, left team, right team, left team, right team. That's it. One team comes wonderfully stronger than the other. Great. Well, then start adding left team, left team, left team. It's that simple, right? This is not rocket science. And we have amazing retention, which means people buy the products every month. So it doesn't take that much effort to start producing real income. Okay. Let me give you some nuts and bolts. I've got passive income coming to me this week, but because I've been working this week, right? Putting in my 90 minutes, 6 days a week. I've got 4 people started this week. I'm about to get my 5th person started this week. So let's say with my 5th person, they're about to sign up tonight. I've gotten 2 other people started today, and a couple of others earlier in the week. So I will have $360 in bonuses from signing those people up just this week. All right. Now, that's not passive residual income. That's just one-off active income. But as those people continue to buy products, I'm earning a net 6% on my entire business. So this is a legitimate way. If you're like, well, I need to get out of this hole. Listen, if you want to be a person with a little bit of wealth, doesn't mean you're a millionaire. Doesn't even mean you're even earning six-figure income. If you just want to be like, dude, I've been earning like $22,000 a year all my life. I'm 25. I wanted, then consider doing this, right? Because $40,000 a year passively will completely change your life. Right? You want to go to all the concerts, all the EDM concerts. You want to go see Rehab and Calvin Harris, and you want to go see your favorite artists live or playing at Red Rocks. You want to go to this convention, this conference. You want to focus on personal development. You want the time to write a book. You just want to go freaking rock climbing. You want to live in the van by the river, which is what I'm about to do. Live in a van by the river. I'm about to build my own RV into a van. So I can do this. So I can just travel and travel and travel and do whatever I want. Time, freedom. 40 grand a year will set you free if you don't have to turn up to a job every day at 9 o'clock, right? So that's what this is about. It's not about becoming super freaking wealthy. It's about having the time freedom and the income coming in to do whatever you want in life. It doesn't take that much, right? For $40,000 a year, you can travel the world forever. Forever. I've traveled the world. I traveled the world nonstop for 2.5 years. It doesn't cost that much. You just got to know what you're doing. You learn as you go. You'll learn within 6 months. It doesn't cost a whole lot to travel. Okay? The biggest expenses are usually your airline tickets. So, for 40 grand a year, well, I'd really love to, travel the world. Oh, well, here's an opportunity for you to do just that. It's going to take some investment of your time, but then it's going to give you that time back. So I think I'm going to keep this to this. Let me see if there's any questions here. And no, just people praising. That's great. I love all the comments. So if you've got any questions, I'll hang around for just a little bit. You can ask. But if you want to join Ronnie, Paul, and I in just a business that has proven itself to me over and over and over again, take a look. Take a look at this. Get me on the phone. I make my phone number completely public to everybody, right? It has been for many, 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 many years. So you can call me, have a conversation at 720-346-4471. By all means, pick up the phone. It shows me that you're serious. I don't really like to just be typing with people online because then they can just be wasting my time. You can call me. I don't do the hard sell. In fact, the people I just got started, I was talking with his wife, Haley. Hi, if you're watching. And she said, my husband didn't think you're a very good salesman. They came with me to our big event here in Texas in January, just gone, and they only just got started today. And that was the criticism. It's like, he's not a very good salesman. You don't need to be, because this is about authenticity. This is about being you, and it's about sticking with it. And in the beginning, every single person you talk to will say no. Every single one, right? You'll talk to 30 people and every single one will say no. Because these, things, they come and they go. No one's interested in, these shooting stars. And they're pyramid schemes. They pop up and then they're gone. You've got to prove to your friends that you're serious about it. And now that I've been doing this for 4 years and 3 months, let me see, just to make sure I'm actually speaking not out of hand, but every single one of the people that has joined me this week, or 5, they came to me. I didn't reach out to them. I might have tagged them in a post, but they've seen what I'm doing. We've got this big special. Oh, I didn't even tell you about the special we got today. So the cheapest sign up ever, right? So $75 off our normal. So normally it's about $340 to get started. That's not a fee, right? It's to give you a month's supply of food, right? 2 meals a day. It's actually 32 days worth, right? We want you to be a product of the product. We want you to experience exactly what these science-based solutions can do to the human body. So you pay about $340. But right now, it's like hugely discounted. It's going to be well under $300. So 380 perhaps, somewhere around there, maybe even a little bit less. But it's only tonight until midnight. We have $30 off, and then I got a coupon somebody sent me that's valid only until midnight. So if you want to get started tonight, I know it's probably a little bit of a, rush decision for somebody, but you could do that. But otherwise, no problem. Just talk to me, and if you take 6 months to do your due diligence and investigate this, dude, totally fine with me. I'm not in any rush to get anyone started. I mean, I have no trouble with people wanting to get started with me, all right? So there'd be no pressure whatsoever. So give me a call. This is legit. It's genuine. This is the reinvention of network marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme. The products are legitimate. They're not full of filler. I mean, we specialize in these drinkable meals, full holistic. This is our vegan one, dairy-free, complete meal replacements, drinkable meals. It's not a diet product. We don't have diet products. We don't do diet shit. All right, excuse my French, but we do legitimate food, the most nutrient dense, natural, clean, holistic food you'll ever put into your body. This stuff, it's absolutely freaking phenomenal. I'm not a vegan. I try these from time to time, but I recommend the whey-based shakes, but nothing artificial, nothing synthetic of any kind, no artificial sweeteners, perfectly balanced, 30% healthy fats, yes, fats with a meal, baby. It's not a diet product, right? So you see all the diet things, 0 grams of fat. Yeah, not an ounce. What is ours? 8 grams of fat. Real fat, because your body needs fat. You've got fat, all the right low glycemic carbohydrates, and in this one you got 24 grams of vegan protein. Now others you got 24 grams of whey-based protein, or 36 grams of whey-based protein. And the 24-gram ones are only, now get this, people think, it must be expensive. No. And this is why we have such great retention. This is why people buy the stuff month after month after month. The 24-gram meals are $2.85 each. $2.85, right? And the 36-gram protein meals are $3.58. And I live on these things. It's a whole food. You can live on it. And the company might not say that. I don't know what they say about that, but I do, because I have been for the last 4 years, solidly for the last 2.5 years. This has been 80% at least of my daily food intake. There's nothing like it. Okay. Our starter pack that I'm telling you about will revolutionize your body. You won't believe it. It'll improve your sleep. It'll improve your mental clarity, your energy levels, no stimulants, just good food, right? But give you the energy that you should have. Digest incredibly easily. It's an undenatured whey protein. So those of you with lactose problems, you won't have a problem with this. It's amazing. It's phenomenal food. This is the most legit. I mean, you could go to Mars with Elon Musk and just take these, and you'll be fine. You see these other things being talked about these days, like Soylent and 100% food. These guys are the world leaders in this stuff. Nothing better than it. So there it is. I encourage you to start looking at this. I know that the vast majority of people, when they first hear about it, like, nah, it's all right. I'm not real interested in that. Sure, nor was I. And today, it's my sole source of income and gives me complete 100% time freedom. So I see everybody saying, thank God it's Friday. And I'm like, dude, you need passive residual income in your life. I mean, I don't think that way. I get excited about Mondays because I get paid every Monday morning. So there you have it. Again, if you just joined us, this is legit, not name dropping. Ron Paul's oldest son, and I are in business with this together. If you don't believe that, I can get you on the phone with him and he can tell you all about the products himself, because he gets even more excited about it than I do. And come and join us. if it takes you 6 months to a year to decide, that's totally okay. But feel free to call me and ask questions. I won't harass you. I won't chase you. I will not try to close you. Not interested. Okay. I'm only interested in people that really want to either consume the foods, or join us in building the business side. Okay. So no pressure whatsoever. So check it out. And if you think, oh, it's a load of bullshit. Yeah. I thought that too. And I was proved very wrong. This is the reinvention of network marketing. This is a better way. And right now also, I'll close with this. If you are in a network marketing company right now and you've spent 2 years there and you're not even earning $400 or $500 a week right now, come and take a look at this. 50-50 revenue sharing cooperative. That means that as this year is our first $1 billion year, we will pay out more than $500 million to our network marketing field. There's no other company that is out there that can claim anything like that. This is completely new and different. Although we're 15 years old, right? So we're not going away. This is not some shooting star, but this is the real deal. Come and take a look at Isagenix. Compare it to your company and see it. Maybe you want to take a good serious look at joining us instead. One big reason for that is you own your business with us, right? In other companies, you can't sell it. You can't sell your position to somebody else as a going concern. You can with us. Not only that, but if you die, the company doesn't reabsorb your business. It goes to your estate to decide what to do with. It's yours. You built it, right? Legacy, very, very important to us. So if you're new to network marketing, these are concepts that just don't exist in other companies. You can sell your position. Yes, it's your business. You built it. You can sell it. Of course you can. You die and the company doesn't reabsorb your business? No. Your position will go to your estate. Your estate, you can write it into your will that if something happens to me, it's your will and testament, it goes to my kids or my grandkids or whatever. I mean, it's legit. It's a real business. It's a real business that will reward you with passive residual income for years and years and years to come if you just get in and invest some time in building it with me and my team and Ronnie Paul. So how about it? All right. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I value you so very much. I really honor you for coming and spending this time with me tonight. And I think this is the very first time I've ever posted a video about Isagenix to my page. So for all of you watching on my page, thank you. I hope you'll come join me. Take care.